leaving next month. Hard thing to deal.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of compassion for her. So we'll see.
Yeah.
I just received the message from Christine. She can't make it. She is on trip.
That's fine.
Christine. Okay.
Tell her to have a wonderful trip.
Concerning Leah, I sent by email, of course, the link for Zoom, and I sent it on her WhatsApp too. It seemed that she didn't check it yet. Let's see. Let's see.
Well, we'll see.
No.
We can talk to each other. Who cares?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
So remember,
Lasita here, it's enough.
Lasita, listen, Tofi, let me get through this, okay?
Go ahead,
Lasita, for the UN, we can pipe you in, but on the background, you could talk about what Saving Souls Women's Network does for you. I want all of your artwork. This is a great way. I've been thinking about it a lot. I should think about my own ways, but this is a great way to advertise your artwork. You
Well,
never
I
know.
don't particularly want people to think of my artwork as different from what they can create. And the whole point is anybody can do
Leah,
something that's unique to them. And
that's it, but
the
that's
whole
what that's
point.
going to show. But that's what that's going to show. It's not to show you as so very, very, it's to show that they can do it if they gave it a half a shot.
Yes.
It's like my writing. Good morning, soul sister.
Morning.
Hi, darling.
Hello,
So
hello.
good to see you.
Nice to have you.
I want
Hello,
to
my
see you
dears.
too, Tofi, so I can take a picture of everybody.
Sure.
Okay,
ahead.
why not?
Sure, I can do that for you if you'd like to. You know how to do it?
No, you come onto camera so I can take a picture.
Sure, yeah, no. Go ahead.
Yay, done.
Yay! Woo.
I did it already.
Yeah. You
All
did
right.
it?
So now we can relate to each other. Yay.
Okay.
You did
so
it?
wonderful.
I did it already. The minute you
Oh,
came on
that's good.
camera.
I want to
Boy,
do
is she
something. When I
fast.
someone high
Nothing like
voltage
you,
just
Tofi.
go
Look how fast she is, Tofi.
What?
Tofi is as slow as a snail.
No, I'm not.
Oh,
Yeah,
give it
Leah,
up.
she's talking to me again, Leah. Can you imagine this? Leah knows. Leah knows.
I know.
Yeah.
I do know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
love
his-
her.
He
This
knows how
lady
slow you
is
are. I've told her about that, dear.
this lady is the most beautiful lady. She's patient, she's brave, she's helping everyone.
And
And I want to tell you something. Even she is in hardship, in hard pain, she never shows that. And I'm proud of her.
thank you, honey. Okay.
I'm proud of her.
First of all, I'm very happy.
Having good reason to be.
That's right.
Yeah.
And you know what, Leah? I think what's the most important thing is we have to keep our heads up and just go day to day. Those pictures of the kids were absolutely adorable. They are. That little one, that's Phoebe. Oh, my God.
She's a character.
She's a showstopper.
She's literally in person. She is a total character.
She is
Wow.
something else. She reminds me of her grandmother.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Circumstance there. So
I love the blondie hair she has and her brother. Oh my God, that's so cute.
oh my God, they're gorgeous and they're very smart.
Bless them
Very
from
smart.
the evil eye. God bless them from any evil eye. Amen.
Please, always. Please, always.
Now my
Yeah,
my grandson called me the other night. He's living in LA and he calls me and he says, Grandma, how's the cancer? So I said, Nicholas, how's the weather? I said, let's move. I said, let's move on. He's more, when I speak to Nanny, that's his other grandma who happens to be my best friend, Ginger. When I speak to Nanny, she makes it sound like you're going through a lot, but she says that you're crazy because you do too much. And so I want to know from you, I said, I will always do too much till the day I die because sitting around and thinking of being sick is not my thing.
This is my lady.
Writing is
my
my
brain
salvation. Without writing, my life would be totally nothing. So, I mean, Taoufik is the best of everything. So I'm lucky, just like you are lucky, you have Ian. And Lasita has the man that she's living with. And I think that that's why we're very lucky, because we have these wonderful people. I mean, nobody, I don't, and I don't mean to insult you ladies, but nobody can have a husband like him. I mean, and cancer wasn't enough. So then I got the flu on top of cancer. Now I'm trying to get over the flu, and it's not the best thing in the world. And Thursday I go to chemo. So I have a wonderful week. I can hardly wait. It's still my heart, but I will do writing during chemo. Because when the doctor came in the last chemo session, which was 3 weeks ago, because it's very powerful, he said, I have to talk to you about something. I said, look, I'm in the middle of writing. I set up my little office there. I have the stand. I'm in the middle of writing. He says, okay, you'll be here for 6 hours. I'll check back. And he started to laugh. He said, I never heard of a patient to tell me to come back. I said, what are you doing here? This isn't the time I'm supposed to see you anyway. He was laughing. But if I'm sitting there with the attitude of, oh my God, I'm gonna die, blah, 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 we're all gonna walk across the street and get hit by a car. Get over it.
And you know what, everyone? Even we are in trouble, of course, the pain, a lot of stuff, but we love a lot. Every day,
all the
we
time.
love.
And you put on that wig.
Amazing.
Did you
It's
all see the
amazing.
picture of Tofi with the wig?
You wanna
Lasita.
see it?
Leah,
I thought
okay.
it was hysterical.
Oh,
It
yeah,
was so
no.
funny.
What other nut job
Lots
would
of
like this?
ladies. Wait, I'm showing
So
it.
funny.
He's
I'm
crazy,
showing
but
funny.
wonderful. I am so lucky to have him.
Oh
I can't-
yeah.
Well, yeah, oh yeah, you hear that? I can't say enough wonderful things about him.
Let me see.
Okay, what I want to do is I want to talk
photos.
a little bit about what the holiday should mean to us. And I'm not talking about as far as spending money.
Okay.
I'm talking about giving. There are so many ways to give. You can give by volunteering. You can give by donating. You can give by just by helping somebody. Like you have a neighbor who can't get out. Not everybody has a Tofi, or someone like Lasita's boyfriend, or somebody like Ian. Not everybody has that. So if you see somebody that doesn't have it and they're in your vicinity, you can help them.
Yeah.
Like walk their door. Yeah, I know you do that, Leah, and I want you to talk a little bit about that.
I'm sorry I couldn't share it because
We all saw it, Tofi. It's fine.
okay. Okay. I have the pic there, but the compatibility with Zoom doesn't work.
That's okay.
Anyway,
No,
how is it?
Tofi,
How are
please.
you?
Okay, Leah, talk to us a little bit about some of the things that you do that doesn't necessarily, to help others, it doesn't necessarily involve spending money.
Oh, there's so many things.
That's why I wanted to talk.
But yeah, there are very many wonderful things that you can do without spending money.
Right.
I mean, I consider, for example, each day is an opportunity because you don't know who you're going to come across. And you might come across someone who is, I mean, you may or may not, but I'm saying, but you see, you know, many of us do come across people who are suicidal, for example. And they don't look at, you know, people always say, but how can you have committed suicide? You look so happy. That doesn't matter how happy someone looks.
No, go ahead.
You know, and yet if you give them a smirk, or if they're working behind the counter at the convenience store and they're looking really jolly, but you just treat them like they're shit, you know, like you just ignore them. It's just part of the whole thing that they hate, that's making them hate life. But if you say, how's it been going today then? Been a busy day, it looks like. And you treat them like a human being, that might make a difference. It really could. It could save a life. So, I mean, not to exaggerate, but you could literally save a life. And so I think one of the primary free things that all of us can do each day, if we're able to get out of bed and walk around, is, and if we're not, who's caring for us, treat them with respect and kindness, but is to actually really, you know, tap into that presence of that person that you see, and who are they, and their story, and what's going on, and just try to be real with them, try to be a real person, and try to treat them like a real person. And,
Weren't you on a suicide hotline? Didn't you run or was part of a suicide hotline?
yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that. I'm curious about that.
What do you want to know, love?
Everything. That's me.
Well, gosh, suicide is very complex, a very, very complex subject. And I think one of the sad thing about it is that the survivors, understandably, who can fault anybody. I mean, I don't judge anyone for how they handle their grief.
Of course
But
not.
But I would say one thing, they sometimes cause themselves extra grief because they think they did something wrong, that they did something to make this happen. Or they think that they were rejected. They're angry at this person. How dare this person leave me like this? And in fact, that person died in much the same way as someone would have died of a sudden heart attack. You don't normally get angry in the same way when someone dies of a sudden heart attack. It was obviously something they couldn't do anything about. But everyone thinks, well, someone can do something about this, and not everyone can. That's the thing. They need our help. They need help in order to survive the suicidal impulse there. They need help. And without that help, then they are just as prone to a sudden death as someone with any other kind of bodily illness. So there's no reason to feel angry at them or to think that they abandoned you.
Of course not. Who would be angry with anybody that's in that position? It's so sad.
But so many people have,
but it could happen to you. Your life can change. We have both seen this. We're a perfect example of how your life can change in 10 minutes.
Absolutely.
And all of a sudden you have this disease that you can't get rid of. And despite the fact that working so hard with the disease, it won't be seen in our lifetime. And getting on, and you have to get on with your life, because otherwise, what good are you? You can't help others if you can't help yourself. But it's very hard for some people. Not everybody can be strong.
Yeah.
And I think the whole thing is we have to be compassionate enough to accept the needs of others before our own needs. Now, Lasita, you too do special things for people who, well, she does a special thing. She donates every month. She's a permanent donor to Lynn's kids, so that we're very grateful to have her. And Lasita, tell us about some of the other things you do, like with Reiki and healing.
Oh, yes.
Right, but I suppose part of what comes up is always feeling like one isn't doing enough. And the idea that, I mean, I give a lot of money away to charities because I'm fortunate that I have a job and I'm earning. And I've never had this much money. Of course, some people would be saving rather than spending it all like I do.
You're a good person. You are a good-hearted person, and God rewards them.
But so I spend a lot of time trying to learn about various aspects of healing and trying to keep my sweetheart alive and well. And other people that I love, some of whom are present right here. But I don't feel like I do enough for my family, for my children. I mean, my son sometimes seems very depressed, but I think he has a new girlfriend. So he's happy about that. And yesterday he went up to Taos. We live in Santa Fe, and he got a skiing lesson. And he's a really adept snowboarder, but I remember as a child, he went on one skiing lesson and when he was very little, and the people said he's a natural at it. So I'm sure he'll do well, hopefully won't get injured. But the new girlfriend is somebody he's known since he was in high school, and he's now
Oh, my.
38. So they've known each other a long
Wonderful.
time.
Wow,
And
yeah.
the woman has a
Wow, you have-
12-year-old daughter. So she may not want to have more children, and she's also starting to study to be a therapist. So maybe he'll have to give up the idea of creating his own child, but at least he's going to get a relationship if this continues. So he had a lovely day.
Wonderful.
That's lovely.
Great.
Yeah, so that was special. And he called me up on his drive home because it's about 2 hours or so up that way.
Mhm.
And so just being there for family and for my partner and
For all of us.
spreading some
Yeah.
money. That's
all of
what I'm
us,
trying
yes.
to
And
do.
for all of us,
You know
when we're
what?
of age, you're the first one there.
Give so much, Lasita.
You
I
know
think
what?
you're so right. You can never, one always feels one can never give
She's
enough, but
amazing.
that's because we're not omnipotent and we simply can't. We're just frail human beings.
And,
But
we're all, and here we're
we have a
family.
lot we can give. So
Yeah.
we just, what we can give, we try to give.
Mhm.
And that's all we can do, really.
That's right.
Lasita, you know why you are such sweet lady and you have peace of mind and soul because you give to others. And as you said about your sons and your daughter,
Cares. She cares. She
yeah,
cares.
they are a fruit of you and your ex-husband. So it's kind of God,
That's right.
Hashem, Allah, Lord, whatever.
Whole work.
This one is rewarding you. When I look at Lasita every meeting, she looks so calm,
Yes,
she
very
looks
calm.
so serene, and this is the
Unlike me, who's like,
gift from above. Yeah.
I want to address
Love you.
something that, Taoufik, give me 2 minutes. I want to address
Sure.
something that Lasita said, which I learned from my grandson. And
Mhm,
you never know when you learn from those kids.
mhm.
We aren't responsible for everything our children feel. If you feel that your son might have problems with you or anything else, it's just because you're a kind of person who feels that you never do enough. Now, when I
Yeah.
said to Nicholas is in California, when I said to him, you're going to come in? And he said, maybe in a couple of weeks.
Mhm.
And he said to me, but I have a favor. I figured, here we go. He's asking for a plane ticket, and now is not the time. And I would have to say no, and he understands. He said, you know what, Grandma? If I come in, can I stay at your house? I said, oh, be still my heart. That would be like the best thing in the world. I felt like I wasn't
Sure.
doing enough for him, because right now, financially, I can't do anything for him. But I'm there to lend support and counsel in my own little way. He said, I can't stay at Nanny's house. That's my best friend, Ginger, his other grandma, because she'll drive me crazy and ask me 100 questions a day. I said, I'll tell you what. If you come and you stay at my home, I'll invite everybody here to see you 1 or 2 days. And that way you'll do the right thing. And Nanny is 85 years old. How about a little respect? I said, you know what? If you don't want to stay with her, we can go back and forth twice, or we can find a way to get her here more than once. And it'll just make her heart feel good, because at 85, you never know what's going to happen tomorrow. I said, you don't know at my age. He said, you, Grandma, you don't sit still. I said, that's not the point, Nicholas. We just have to do what's right for her. So what I'm saying, Lasita, is I always felt like I wasn't doing enough. And then he comes out and he says he wants to stay at my house because he would be most comfortable there, and because he wants to meet the man that my best friend raves about, Mr. Taoufik. Everybody wants to meet Mr. Taoufik. So I said, it would be our pleasure for as long as you want. That room is yours.
And we have special room for him.
Nice,
It's
big,
already set. Yeah.
big. It's actually
Yeah,
bigger than
big
mine.
room with it for him. And of course, I will cook for him my Moroccan dishes. And we will make him feel comfortable anytime he can.
It's a house full of
visit
love.
New York.
A house full of goods and deeds and this and that.
Yeah.
But it's a house full of love. And that's what Lasita has. That's what Leah has. And that's what we have. Now, the only person I didn't question about this because to me it's a ridiculous question because I know the answer. But it's Mr. Taoufik. The
Yeah.
question is, Habibi, what do you think you do to help people that doesn't involve money? And I know exactly what you're going to say, so let's see if I'm right or wrong. Hit it.
Showing the love. First.
How?
And
He's not going to say
be
what.
in their shoes. If someone need really help and really need support, I just say, I was like him, or I may be like him. So I understand everyone. And we do that, me and Lynn. We never judge. Sometimes we are hurt.
Oh, we the
And
judge.
we forgive. Forgiveness is a fortune, is a wealth. But sometimes you don't forget. And we have the right to do that. Everyone who has been hurt, he will never forget, but we forgive. And I learned that from my beloved Lynn.
He has a lot of problems.
Before,
That's what I'm talking about your volunteering.
Yeah, volunteer. I do that by heart. And since I came here, I didn't used to make that volunteer in Morocco. Sometimes, but it was rare. But when I come here, volunteering, give me more love, give me more confidence, give me more care about others. And you can imagine how joyful and happy I get when I volunteer with New Yorkers, especially, and with Lynn's Kid, which is about volunteering and giving. So my feeling are high. We don't take, we give, and this is how everyone should be. Givers, not takers. And this is the lesson I got from this beautiful lady in front of me and in front of me. Give.
Yeah,
and never think of taking anything. Sometimes we can ask people, sometimes, but believe me, we do it with, bad feeling. When we really need, we don't complain. We don't ask others, but sometimes it is necessary. Let me say, we accept it, but with quite sad feeling. But in general, volunteering is a gift. Volunteering is a bliss. And no one can really do it unless he has a big heart. So that's it. This is what volunteering means to me. Yeah.
When I took Taoufik to the first soup kitchen, and we
Oh my
volunteered
God.
out together, it was it was his first experience in a soup kitchen, which can be overwhelming if you're not used to it.
Wow.
This was at the West Village Church.
Yeah.
He loved it.
Yeah.
Still didn't do too much. He watched what I did. He followed what I did. And then the next time we went, which was the following week, it's like I had no idea where he was or what he was doing. He was packing bread. He was doing this.
Yeah.
He was doing that. He was already gone and taken and loved it because he's everybody on the screen right now is a very giving person.
Yeah. And I will tell you something about this soup kitchen. We stand on our feet for almost 3 hours and a half.
That's right.
And the people who came and received the food and the support, in this church, there were almost 400 people, Chinese, I'm not racist, but many people of all cultures. And you can imagine when you serve, and we really get exhausted, but we still stand up, we still pack, we still
giving up one day a week.
And this is what I really love till now. After Corona, things went,
I'm still doing. I'm doing a remote project, and another. Taoufik isn't on this one with me, and I'm doing another remote project in March, which he will be on with me. So even if I'm sick, I can still be helping others. Yeah. That's the way I'm looking at it. It's a wonderful feeling you get.
Oh my God.
When one of these women, it's a teaching thing. It's like a coffee and conversations for a very low income immigrants. And you sit and you talk to them, you let them tell you their stories, you tell them your stories. And the favorite one that we've done, I've done a couple of these, but the favorite one that we've done is the one that we're doing in March. It's just opportunities for a better tomorrow.
Yeah.
And it is just a wonderful project. I'm finishing up one, which wasn't so wonderful because they couldn't get their schedule together, but I'll be in my last 2 sessions this week and the following week. And then that's it for that group. They weren't organized. The other group in March is super organized. It's my kind of group. And we can give those people, when they first came, they were reluctant to talk because they were immigrants and they were nervous. Because you know how many people in the United States feel, you know, how they feel about immigrants is not a good thing.
Yeah.
By the time that they left us, they didn't know how to say thank you. They didn't know how to say goodbye. And I had to say, you know, we appreciate that. By the time that they left us, all they could do was say how much they learned and they can't wait till they come back. And that is what you want. You mean, you want to give them success.
Yeah.
If you can't do it by through money, you do it through activities. And, you know, either way,
Absolutely.
it's like
It's a way of life, isn't it? Really,
Yeah.
Right.
It's like, I mean, even the word volunteer.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not sure. I even see. I don't think of it as volunteer. I just see it as this is a way of life.
It's giving from the heart. Giving so others can be living. That's my theme.
Let
That's
me
my
tell you the other volunteering project I really loved, I still love it, is first is the village church, okay? So, but the second one is with helping kids doing their homework.
Oh, I love that.
And those kids, especially in an after school program, which is
You had a ball.
2 Bridges, it's a private school, but after school.
It's not a private school. It's public school.
Okay, anyway, so those kids, you can imagine how dear they were and how they act, how when you give them love, support, when you let them express what they have, they're angels. And every time we had that volunteering project, we had it almost twice a week, or I guess once a week. We were excited and happy before joining that school, and we had a lot of stuff with them during 2 years before Corona.
And then came COVID, and everything changed.
Yeah, oh my God. But those kids in after school, probably 2 Bridges, and also in public schools, PS 140, PS 64.
That's where I did From Seed to Soup Kitchen.
Oh, yeah, we did. Yeah, go ahead, Lynn. Say more about the soup kitchen.
My favorite part of working in those 2 schools, but first of all, I taught them to perfect their writing. They're very bright kids. And one of the little boys, after he got it, not only did they write, but New York Cares paid part of the amount of books for the class that they could see their writing and their name in print. And anything that they didn't do, Lynn's kids did. So, which was practically nothing because they really did everything. And at the end, we had a big author celebration. So my best part of this, the funniest part of the story is when one of them got the book and he looks at the book and he says, and he was a rough kid. He was smart, but he was rough. He said, "Oh my God, I'm like famous." I said, "I guess you are like that, aren't you?" But I laughed. So I asked him for his autograph. So he says, "I'm not giving you my book." And he took it home. He showed the parents. The parents were impressed. It wasn't about impressing them. It was showing them they can. If you want to, you can. It's like with every project that we're all doing. You want to, you can, so you do. And then my favorite 2 Bridges. Oh God. This is my friend Fran is there. I don't even see me, but I must have been there.
This is PS 140, baby, right? Or PS 64?
No, this is definitely 140. And PS 140, we did From Seed to Soup Kitchen. You have to wash the vegetables in the front. My friend Fran, and blonde in the front, she was very, very friendly with, I think it's like Home Depot, one of those gardening stores, and they donated all these seeds. And so we did it in 2 Bridges, fruit and vegetable seeds. Then we washed them off after fruition. We had special people who came out every single day. Now that's 64, and that was so many.
This is the parents coordinator in PS 64.
But you know
what's her name?
Meryl.
Her name?
Marilyn.
Mara, she was like a baby. She is the one who's responsible of parents' activities in the school.
I'm
But
more
this
interested in the
lady,
pictures.
I
Listen,
love this lady.
I want to see
She's
the
always
pictures.
smiling. She's like a kid.
Okay,
And we
the
have one.
vegetable, Taoufik, the
Yes.
vegetable pictures, not Marilyn.
Okay.
They were so excited to be able to give it.
Sanam is here.
Oh, great. Hi, Sanam.
I will approve her first.
Hello,
Hi, how are
Yeah,
you?
hi Sanam.
hello. Happy days
Hi.
for Thanksgiving.
Hi,
How's
how
everyone
are you doing?
feeling?
Same to you. Everybody's great. So I gave a whole speech about soup kitchens in New York kids. But the important thing is that the kids, when they washed off their fruits and vegetables, they were able to take it to a local soup kitchen. Teaching them at this age that giving is the real way to be living. And Sanam does a lot of that stuff too. You can listen to the tape and you'll hear everything we said. She's also a very important part of New York Cares. She's going to speak at the UN conference along with the New York Cares. If the New York Cares representative isn't the person I want, then you and I are going to do it. I gave them a choice. They don't give me the New York, they don't give me Christopher. It's not happening because it's my conference. I'm not getting anything for this other than a big plug for Lynn's Kids and Saving Souls Women's Network, especially Saving Souls, because I'm pulling out a couple of surprises that even my husband doesn't know. So it's going to be a very exciting conference, and I want all of you to be a part of it in any way you can. So get yourself ready. Here is when they first talked about, we didn't just get in there and start to do the seeds. We first learned about why it's important to help the hungry. We studied poverty for at least a month. I didn't just say, here are seeds, start planting. It doesn't work that way. They had, some of them were probably poor and some of them probably lived for soup kitchen and some of them weren't. So I educated all of them first about poverty, which resulted, of course, in writing a book. The second thing was from Seed to Soup Kitchen, which there isn't a child that I've met that didn't love that project. And that can be done where all of you live, especially where Lasita lives. In that area, I should imagine it's a good place to plant, but I don't know what the logistics are. It's hard. All these things are hard. Also, the kids learned a lot. And not only did they learn, but they loved the feeling of learning. So Sanam, get yourself ready because this UN thing is going to rock. It's getting, and the exciting thing about that, and here's Taoufik getting ready. The exciting thing about the UN is that we're going to actually, it's not going to be sitting through their conference. It's our own conference. And we're all part of it because we're all Saving Souls Women's Network, which I'm going to surprise a lot of people because that's who I'm really featuring.
Yeah.
So anybody else, this is all about saving souls because this to me is where my heart is. I love Lynn's kids and I love the camps. They're all making their presentations, especially Lynn's kids orphanage in Ghana. They're so cute. But and I love it. We can have a little bit of both, but my focus is going to be on Saving Souls Women's Network. So let's get ready. Sister Leah, I expect you to do something. I know you will, because you're a writing partner and you're a soul partner, and especially Lasita, because she's got such love in her heart that just comes radiating. And Sanam, unfortunately, is stuck with me, so she has to be there. And it's going to be so cool. So what we were talking about, Sanam, and it's perfect because it's now your turn, was about ways that we can help other people when we don't have a lot of money, but different ways that, Giving Tuesday is tomorrow. That's a great thing. Why don't you explain to them what Giving Tuesday is? Go ahead, because I don't think that they do this outside of the United States. I don't know. I told you.
Sanam, what did you write? I see you.
Giving. It's called Giving Tuesday. Let her talk about it, Taoufik.
Okay, go ahead.
So we hear about, I think, as I understand, it came about from having, for example, Black Friday be the day after Thanksgiving. More recently, I've heard, and I forgot to update my background, but Small Business Saturday, where people buy from.
Don't forget today's Cyber Monday.
That's right, Cyber Monday, and there are some good deals, and probably most people's. If they work, at a computer, their productivity is probably very low today. But yeah, and then tomorrow, I believe that's the last one, although tomorrow is what they call Giving Tuesday. And as many people feel more generous, more philanthropic during the holidays, it's one of the ways that people can do and contribute. And oftentimes there will be programs or a particular donor who will match, so your donation goes that much further.
Wow.
And you can as I understand, there's a lot of push before the end of the year to have a good showing, and with the numbers being solid and strong for all the nonprofit organizations or whatever cause you feel devoted to, whether it's Special Olympics. I just got those emails. Educations, if you are a alumni, a graduate of someplace, they may write to you and say you can help the next class or next group of students and so forth. All types of other organizations, St. Jude's, that helps.
I love that.
They really, it's pretty incredible. It really is. Yeah. And, but yeah, so that's, and I think I heard, one of the points about, what can I do besides giving money? And what's interesting is that I think, we shouldn't think, well, first of all, I think anything that people can give is good. For example, if someone has time, but not money, or a talent, but not the money, or if it's the opposite, if they're helping to raise kids and they're really busy, but they may have a little bit of extra time or extra, whatever resource, time or money or a talent or connections that can help, whatever it is. I think that ends up being, whatever that ends up being what's most useful. And I think, as a matter of fact, a lot of times during the holidays, I don't know, I feel like I've heard of two trends when most people, and I think this is true, they get more charitable, they'll make time.
Yes, 100%.
Absolutely. Yeah. And, so that may be a time where, or time of year where, slots for volunteer opportunities fill up quick, but they may need other assistance, whether, like, for example, last week with Thanksgiving, they may need donations of turkeys or whatever food or
Right.
what have you, and that can be from, for example, supermarkets or groceries or farms or what have you, so I think that's a great, and I remember one time I was they had come to New York for an exhibit. It's called, the organization is called Doctors Without Borders.
Oh, I love them.
Yeah.
It's an international organization.
Yes. So they do work all over the world. They had basically put up an exhibit where people could walk through. There were two. I think the first one started at near Battery Park downtown, Manhattan, and then the other one went to the Queens, I think, Hall of Science, which I've not been to, but I've heard a lot about it.
Oh, it's a wonderful place.
Is it? Yeah, I've heard a lot about it. Absolutely.
Cool.
And so they asked for New York Cares to help out, just manning the exhibit and helping out and everything. And I remember they were saying, oh, well, if you're not a doctor or whatnot, like, can you still help? And they said, absolutely. Like, there's, when we go somewhere, we need assistance, we need help to set up the place, make sure the management is set up, the infrastructure that we need is set up and all that. So, there's, I always remember that as a reminder that, every every, focus of volunteering has many parts to it.
Yes.
So you can,
yes.
whatever anyone, either preference or talent, I think takes them, I think is really good. Sometimes they say, after a particular disaster, like a natural disaster, hurricane or something, they may say, oh, well, we, right now we need money. Don't send materials, don't send
Yeah.
food or
That's
clothing at
understandable.
this, like there's like, I think different elements to it, right? Yeah. So however, I think it's set up or whether an organization has been around and has a proven track record of, how it's done most efficiently. Right. I think that's the best way to go about it. And, if that organization has already enough, whatever you can afford or to give or offer, like enough people coming in terms of time or money, the good thing is that there's, well, good or bad, I guess, however you want to look at it, there's always a need somewhere,
Yeah.
right? Whether it's mentoring young people or
Yeah.
some other organization.
That's right.
It is, yeah.
That's perfect.
Absolutely.
And
Sanam, did you start the toy drive? Did you get a chance to
Lynn?
start the toys?
Lynn? Yeah,
What?
just another information about Doctors Without Borders. They first started by, they were all doctors all over the world, and they started to go and assist and support the people in war areas. They went to any place in the world and help and heal people with injuries, with the war catastrophes, and this is their hard stuff they did all over the world, in Vietnam, in Middle East, in
They do
Latin
wonderful
America,
thing.
and
They
this
do
is
wonderful
how
thing.
they started this kind of volunteering, and they were saving lives, and till now they do that. And the first time I heard, Sanam, that they are active also in assisting people, not only in war area but everywhere in US too.
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely. I think there's different phases. Like, for example, there may be places where they are long-term. And then
Yes.
if a crisis arises, like, for example, with Ukraine, with,
Yes.
other areas where hostilities force a lot of people to flee, or if there's, for example,
Yeah.
at the beginning of COVID.
The refugees,
Mhm.
also refugees.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
And like,
Need before my charger is
That's marvelous. What you do is marvelous. What you're doing.
Isn't it something for a young girl? You see how much she does. Sanam, what about the toy drive? Did you start?
Sure, yeah. Well, the thing is, in terms of finding a place to donate.
Yes.
So there's certain, it does have to be kind of soon. But because what they
We have up till like 2 weeks before Christmas, so we have time.
Oh, okay. Sure. Well, the thing is, I think that could be, I'm not sure, because sometimes the students, or I'm sorry, the schools, if you want to go that route, may have an issue in terms of, like, they may want it like the week.
They do their own thing. They do, the schools
Yeah.
usually don't go to a
Yeah.
school.
Don't
Go
go
to private businesses, which Tofi is going tomorrow. Go to
Yeah.
private businesses, give them the letter.
Mm.
And if you luck out and you get 2 or 3 places that give, fine. Whatever we get, we give to a children's hospital somewhere near where we are. And that's what Lynn's Kids has done this every single year for as long, except for COVID.
Lynn, you still have the letter. Do you send the letter of Lynn's Kids
Every
for Sanam? Did you send her the letter?
Of course.
Okay. Anyway.
You did, okay.
Yeah.
I sent you the tax ID. You need that before you go into a store.
Yeah.
We
So I
have
just wanted to check
a
it
toy
off.
drive here, Lynn. It's
What?
not
Yeah.
Lynn's Kids, but it's the same. It's the same principle. It's providing toys for the children in
Who cannot
hospital
afford to
at
get
Christmas.
toys or stuck in a hospital. How would you feel if you were a kid, you're in a hospital? I don't have the heart to think about it. So it's easier for me to get out there, do what I have to do. And as soon as I get rid of this cold, next week I'll be right out there mixed in.
I guess, Lynn, sorry for interrupting you. People
used to
who
it, dear.
can't collect toys, is there a possibility that I speak about people out of New York? Is there a possibility to donate any amount, small amount of money?
Yeah, but
So,
that's not going to happen because people have a lot of things going on.
okay, no, I'm just asking.
And they can donate to Lynn's kids. That's not the
Yeah,
important
that's
part.
it.
I'd rather
Anyone
give
can-
them the toys. I don't want to go out shopping. I'd rather give them the toys and
Yeah.
let them experience getting toys that look
Yeah.
good, that
Yes.
make them happy.
So
we are
nice.
collecting toys in spaces, and also we can encourage anyone from all over
What
the
I
world
did,
can
and
do
this
that.
shows Mr. Tofi.
They can donate
Okay.
to Lindsay's, and we
What
will
I
buy
did,
new
you pay attention
toys
to your
and of
stuff. But
course
what I
send them
did
to
is I put it on Facebook asking people if they would like to start a toy donation in their city, because I thought that way it makes life easier than having to worry about where we are or donating. Everybody has their own thing during the holidays.
and we can
Too much
also
money,
receive-
But
if we
not
receive
one
donations-
person answered me. I didn't
Okay.
get one person to say anything, so I gave it up. So whoever donates, whoever we get toys from storekeepers, we say thank God. We don't get,
Yes, sure.
I don't care, we did, but we're doing the best we can.
Yeah.
That's all.
Sure.
There's nothing else we can do about it. It's another thing that you have to chalk up the holiday time
Yeah.
and other people having their own problems. There's so many people in this world that have problems today. That's why I can't blame it. Okay, Sanam, I'm going to put you on the spot for the last 5 minutes, and here's the spot. Of all the New York Cares projects that you've done, and you've done so many, and don't think of what you've done with me, because it doesn't matter what you've done with me. Which is your favorite project ever?
Oh, wow. Well, I will say the most, I don't know if it's, I think it probably is my most memorable. And it was a one-time project out on, and it kind of combines a bunch of the aspects of New York Cares, particularly before COVID, that I admired and enjoyed, in that especially when they were in-person projects, you got to see the different neighborhoods. And this was a park, a beautiful park on the, like, along on the upper, like way upper west side, not quite
Riverside.
I believe so, but it was
Not
like
that
the
private.
state park, so it was like there were different rules.
Riverside Park. It's a private park.
Mhm.
It's
Oh,
beautiful.
okay. It might have been that, yeah. And I had never been there before. And what we did, they and just so as you guys know, New York Cares doesn't really run this show. They help organizations, right?
Yeah.
And this organization was helping children and focus on children whose parents had either been or were still incarcerated, whether they had been in jail. And our project was just to have a barbecue for them, for the community.
Oh, I love that.
Wow.
Brilliant.
Well done.
And
Oh,
it ended
that's
up-
brilliant.
It was a really, first of all, the park was really nice and very clean and all that. And then, it ended up, we lucked out really well in terms of weather. And, even though it was a one-time thing, I always remember that because, I just remember, they had a sense of fun. I think everyone, not just the kids, but their caretakers and whoever.
That's fantastic.
Wow.
It was
wow.
really
And a
nice.
sense of belonging, of not being shamed,
Isn't that wonderful?
of
Absolutely.
not being shamed.
Okay,
They
That's
had
everyone.
some
marvelous.
children's books geared for those
Oh, that's wonderful.
demographic as well. Children who had one or two of their parents, either unfortunately, if they had to go to rehab or if they were incarcerated. So, that, and I don't believe I've really seen that project listed again, or that particular project listed again, but
No, I haven't seen that either.
yeah. And I don't know, if they, maybe they went internal and used their own volunteers. There was one and I did not get a chance to go to. I think in the same area of like Washington Heights, I believe in.
That's the area.
And I believe you went and like the project was you would go and you would help and have conversation with Holocaust survivors. It was
Wow.
I saw that one too, but I couldn't
do
get
you
there.
remember? Yeah, I wasn't even, I think, is it, I want to say Isabella, maybe, I'm not sure, but maybe.
I have no idea.
Yeah, that was, I think, sometimes like it because of, particularly on the weekends, the transportation may not always be available. So you do have to take, like, me personally, especially if a project maybe only 2 hours, you don't want to be an hour late for a thing, if you can avoid it. But at any rate, so yeah, that one, and I haven't seen that listed. Not that I remember.
No, I haven't seen it either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, as things like kind of progress, I'm looking, for new ones. I want to try. There's one, the Gallup NYC, where they.
I told Taoufik about that one, but he didn't pay
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
remember. Yes, you did.
It's on the horses.
Yes. I think it's for children.
Therapeutic.
Yes.
Yeah. Concerning, I attended also a volunteering program with Newarkers, but they were helping with volunteers. A
Yes.
Jewish Center for Center. It is a organization that helps seniors get food because they can't go out of their
That's great.
house and shop. So all the seniors were Jewish people who are
And they
over
do
70.
food, which is the important
Yeah,
thing.
food. And we went first to the office, to the organization office, and we packed a lot of food. You can imagine how much food we did. We packed every single pack and we put them in trucks, and we distributed those food all over Brooklyn. It took maybe 3 or 4 hours riding the trucks and going straight to their home. We knocked and we give them the food directly. You can imagine how happy and how those seniors were when you delivered them the food. And when we finished, we came back to the office, and it was a great project, really.
Okay, I'm
Almost,
gonna leave you with one last thought, and then we're going because it's a full hour.
yeah.
And it's a funny story.
Mhm.
Years ago, I was trying to get him out of the house, and he was very depressed. And I took him on the project. You know that one. So I took him on the project where you go by car to you deliver food from St. Bart's. You go on the truck and you deliver we delivered to the Lower East Side and like under the Brooklyn Bridge. And it was snowing and it was hailing, and I was middle-aged. It's not her age. I was older, and I didn't think anything of it. What's going to happen to me? It's snowing. I slid off the truck on my ass with food in my hands.
Oh my God.
I was laughing harder than the driver, harder than Ira. Ira wanted to take a picture of me laying there, and I told him it would be the last day of his life if he did. And yeah, and that's why I said I'm going to leave you with laughter. But it was one of the most meaningful projects. I wound up doing it every week for maybe 9 months. And then other things cropped up. And
Lynn, can you tell Lynn?
Wow,
I'm sorry.
We're almost an hour, Toby.
tell-
It's enough.
No, please let me do that. It's funny. Can you tell about Ira when he was volunteering in with the cozy libraries? And he
Ira
went
volunteered. This is a move on project, not a New York.
Yeah,
Times.
what
One
Ira
thing
did?
is never enough for me. I have to do 100. So every project I direct him to, he loved the soup kitchen, the West Village soup kitchen. He loved it. He helped. He liked to be a big boss. And I let him be the big boss because that was important to him. It meant nothing to me. I took him to another El Alahim's synagogue. He liked that place too. The love of his life turned out to be from moveon.org. My friend David Braun was the president at the time. And we had meetings every week. Like I said, I was never home. I was exhausted. And we did a meeting, we were protesting against Charles
Yeah,
Schumer,
that's it.
against healthcare. So he says, I lie down flat. We had 4 people make believe they were dead on the floor. This is what's going to happen if we don't get healthcare. Lucky I could get up. I should still be on that floor. This was very rough getting up. Okay, so I got up from there and I'm looking for Ira. I have no idea. I'm hearing all these horns honking. He's standing out there yelling, honk if you care about healthcare. And all this is on 3rd Avenue.
He was singing it loudly.
At the busiest time of the day, this man who was afraid of his own shadow was standing there yelling, if you care about healthcare, I can hear those horns blaring in my head. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming. 2 more weeks.
Thank you.
Okay, love you all.
Can I just say one thing to everybody?
Say
You make me
2 things.
so happy. Thank you.
That's
Sure.
fine. I am even happier because you're here. How do you like that? Okay,
Yeah.
so now let's keep track of what we're doing with the choice thing. Let's speak a little bit more often, okay? Okay,
At
Lasita,
the
it's
end of
always a
our
pleasure.
talk, I will send the link of our website. I just made an update.
Oh, it's wonderful. Wait till you see the new website.
I inserted our project for the United Nations in March
Have a
20.
note.
Look.
Oh, lovely.
The
Lovely.
round
Yeah,
yourself with
you
the
can-
that
So
day.
it's
You
a
can
floral.
You
It's
in
almost
there. I'll keep
floral.
reminding you. I'll drive you crazy. Love you. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Beautiful.
Love you.
Bye.
Feel better,
Bye.
Lynn. Be well. Be well.
Bye.
Namaste. Bye.
Grateful for you.